What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 24 of the Honda VFR CBR V4 hybrid build, where we are taking this 2004 Honda VFR 800 and making it more like a CBR 1000. Today we are going to work on something that I've been curious about for months, the front fairing system. I've got a set of fairings from Monster Fairings, the CBR 1000 complete body kit for this thing. We're going to try and see if we can get the front fairing system to work on this bike. Now, if you were here for the last episode, you got to hear this thing fire up for the first time with the new dual Lextech muffler system. And actually, it's got a set of Lextech headers. The complete exhaust from Lextech sounds epic. Go check out episode 23. Listen to this thing. The V4 engine sounds like a freaking Italian Aprilia. Go check it out. So what we have up here is a huge box of fairings for this bike up on the top shelf. We're going to drag that down, pull out that the front fairing setup, see if I can work it out. I don't even know how this thing goes together, honestly, and fit it on the bike. We already fit up the tail section in a previous video, if you guys saw that. There's so many moving parts to this thing, it's crazy. Alright, so we got the nose. This is part of the lower side fairing. This thing has a nice matte black finish with some red graphics that I designed for it. So it's pre-graphic from those guys. Go check out Monster Fairings. They have so many different fairing styles for different bikes and all these cool graphic designs. If you want to change the look of your bike in a big way, go check out Monster Fairings. They got some, ooh, look at that, lower side. Check them out. They got a huge collection of fairings, but they don't have this. This is one of a kind, custom made for this build right here. Thank you, Monster Fairings. CBR 800 V4. Only one in the world. Oh yeah, and you can win this bike if you want to qualify to win this bike when it's done. Go over to the Patreon. Here's the email, or here's the website right here. For as little as $1 per video, you can qualify to win this bike when it's completed. Be the pride of your friends. $1 per episode, that's like nothing. And if you want to have more of a chance of winning, just step it up to $3, $5. Well, I'm gonna quit boring you with all this unpacking stuff, and I'm gonna kind of make rhyme or reason of this and then come back and see if we can figure out how we're going to make this happen. All right, guys, so I've got these two side fairings bolted together here. That was pretty easy to figure out. And the kit came with a whole bunch of bolts and fasteners in this container here. I think they want to utilize some of the fasteners that came on your bike. It's got a lot of bolts, but not a lot of nuts to screw into. So these are the bolts from the kit, and I just found some nuts in my toolbox. So this looks like a pretty good fit right here. What is this? In my way. Come in something like this. Thinking it'd be somewhere around there. Looks pretty sexy. What I'm trying to figure out, what I'm struggling to figure out, is how this is going to all bolt together and wrap around the front with the headlights, the fairing, and so on. It's not really coming to me just yet, but I got to just keep playing with it. But I would say this right here is looking pretty cool, right? Yeah, let's keep trying. All right, guys, check it out. I got the pretty much the majority of the assembly put together here. I don't have the bezel inside for the headlight, but I have the full shroud here. I'm just gonna kind of see how she fits over the bike. Obviously could use another set of hands here, but oh, look at that. Looks like the Batmobile. Obviously it needs to come back more. All right, go ahead and pick it up a little bit and kind of bring it, okay. Not too high, down a little bit, down. Okay, and come back a little bit toward yourself, okay. Careful, 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 careful. Yeah, not too high. Yeah, about like that. Hold that right there. Hold it right there. Very strange, very strange. Very, very strange. All right, I just had Miss Motopilot help me kind of get things a little more lined up, see how it's fitting. Looking pretty, I mean, it looks great. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to mount it, and I want to play around with it some more. It's laying down here now. I want to see if I can work in the headlight bezel, figure that out, and then we'll come back over to the bike here and use some temporary metal strap with the holes in it just to kind of hold it in place and see, you know, we need to make sure there's clearances for the handlebars. It's, you know, the up here by the gauges and so on. But happy with the results so far. It's getting closer little by little. Let's keep moving forward. All right, guys, so before I fit this on the bike one more time, kind of want to show you what I was able to figure out. This part was pretty easy. It's the shield, obviously, the windscreen. I was able to get the bezel in there. It's just kind of snapped in right now, but at least it's in place. Obviously, we bolted the front of the fairing to the side fairings right here. And then when we come to the inside, able to figure some things out. I was able to get this piece in place here on both sides. Got this inner piece that comes down here, comes all the way down. It's like a trim piece to clean that edge up some. And there's the bezel all in place. Here's your cockpit. Wow, you can actually see through that thing. I thought it was like solid black. And then down here, what happens is these snap together, snaps together here, snaps together here at the back. But I obviously can't do that right now because then I can't slide it on the bike because you can't get it past the front wheel. So structurally, man, it's coming around. It's going to be a real challenge, you know, mounting it. I have no idea how I'm going to mount it yet, but let's see if I can get it on the bike and get it in place so it doesn't move and see how she looks. Let's check it out. Before I slide the fairing on the bike again, in case you guys are wondering what this old classic is back here, that is a 1973 Honda CB 350, 4-cylinder 350. That's the next build sitting in the wings, but I thought, I know I'm going to get questions on, what's that bike in the background? Let me show you a little bit better there. Ooh, look at that. And then there's my 2018 Silverado. Love it. Bitchin' truck. There's my daily commuter, my Suzuki 1000 GSX-S F. And then over here you got my, well, you can't really see it much, my Street Glide, my bagger Street Glide. I had a feeling this is going to be probably one of the most challenging aspects of this build. And so far it's proving to be right, but if I keep just chugging away at things, it all seems to kind of figure itself out. This might be an exception. What's happening is I've got these inner pieces right here, but I have these here, this electronic box on both sides, which makes this front end kind of wide. And with these pieces on the inside here that actually attach to the headlight bezel right here, these right here are hitting right here. And that's going to be problem number one. Kind of getting close to being in place. And what's happening is, yeah, these wide electrical boxes right here are pushing the fairings out, where you can see they really need to go quite a ways in here. But I might be able to just remove don't fall, don't want to scratch you. I might just be able to remove these inner plastic pieces here that are pushing this out against these electrical boxes. That seems to be the major ball up right now. I mean, I'm not saying this is 100% going to happen. It might fail, but we're going to give it 1,000% first because I went to a lot of trouble to get these fairings, and Monster went to a lot of trouble. There's a lot of exposure here, but let me show you something real quick. There's a piece that goes in there. Right now this thing is squatted like that, but this piece here actually goes here. So that kind of helps hide some of what's going on in here. I can see in there quite a bit. So that'll be cool right there. What's happening is I'm having trouble swinging it right here to get the bottom in place because I might have to just cut it off right here so I can swing it up. But right now this down here is hitting the engine and stuff and the kickstand and everything, and it's not allowing it to swing into place. Alright, so I removed all the plastics from the inside of the fairing. You saw me just now tweak those electrical components, push them inward because they were kind of sticking out, balling things up. I can already tell there's way more clearance. Stay, baby, stay. See, this is just so hard to do, especially as one man. I think what I'm going to have to do to make this work, I'm going to have to come in here and trim this off right here because this is becoming a real issue. I mean, this isn't lining up with the engine and stuff anyways. So I'm just going to hack this off right here, and then this will be able to tuck in tighter. And then, you know, I think for here, this is going to sit more like this. And then this will come in tight right here, close to the gas tank right here. That looks pretty dang good, guys. After I trim that down there, I can swing it in more of a natural position. Right now it's still a little bit rotated, but this is looking good here. Let's do some trimming, fit it back up here, and it's getting closer, getting closer. All right, guys, so you saw me trimming off the areas that can't be used. I first tried using a cutoff wheel. It was generating too much heat. So then I went to a jigsaw, sawzall, whatever you call that thing. And that worked better. I put down some black tape to keep from scratching the plastics as I cut them. And seemed to do the trick. What I'm doing here is up on front here, I just have some Gorilla Tape holding the fairing on to this bracket that's part of the bike, just to keep things in place. Nice. And now I can just kind of swing it in the position that it needs to be. I will obviously come back and clean up these cuts. I just want to make sure that the cuts are right first before I spend a lot of time on them. So this is going to come in like this. Looks pretty stinking good. Now this was the old bracket for the old fairing. Obviously it's way up here out of the way. I'll probably find a way to do something cleaner, something down in this area, make a bracket to mount to one of these lower bolts so you don't see this big old bracket hanging here. That'd be kind of silly. Not too bad, not too bad. I also want to make sure I got plenty of clearance up here. That's important too. I got to make sure I have clearance for the headlight. Can it go in all the way without hitting the oil cooler and stuff like that? Right now the bike is turned completely left. You can see I got a ton of clearance. I could actually have it turn a little bit further. I got clearance over there on the brake side. You also want to go this way. Make sure you're not hitting the bracket up here. This bracket's going to be moved, so we got tons of clearance there. So this side's looking pretty stinking good. Works for me. Let's go check out the other side. All right, so obviously on this side, we don't want to cover up this beautiful custom clutch cover we had custom made just for this bike. So right now, this is coming up like this. That's pretty much level with the bottom of the bike. It's covering just under half of that cover. So I don't really want to cut this. I mean, I could cut this into a circle and have it not hiding this at all, or just have it to where you see part of it. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I cut this radius right here, which would be difficult to cut? I'd have to use like a Dremel or something. Or do I just leave it the way it is and you see enough of the case to, you know, you're stoked with it? This looks a little odd right here. I'll figure this out. Maybe I'll just come in and cut this like this. But this piece right here was just totally covering this area. That's why I got rid of it. And then obviously we'll make a mounting bracket back here to hold this in place, stabilize everything. I gotta say, before I started fitting this fairing on here, I was pretty anxious about it, thinking there's no way I'm gonna get this thing to work. There's gonna be all kinds of problems. Hey, it's not done yet, but I'm feeling a whole lot better about it. We do have to worry about the back brake back here. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to cut this further back because I can't even get this brake. You can see here it's hitting the case. So that's not gonna work. Yeah, we'll just do some more trimming here. I'll just come back here and zap it. But yeah, that's what that side looks like. All right, guys, so now you can see I've got the headlight bezel in here, and it went in without too much problem. My biggest concern is when I put in the headlights, see all this bracketry right here? There's electronics mounted to this. This is the bracket for the oil cooler that's right down here. The only way I'm gonna know if the headlights are gonna fit in there without modifying this bracket is to get the headlights. I don't have those yet. So we're pretty much at a standstill right now. I'll go ahead and order up some headlights and fit it in there and keep our fingers crossed. It's not gonna take too much modification. But the rest of the fairing, I'm feeling pretty dang good about. All right, everybody, I think that's it for this episode. I think the fairing's looking pretty sweet, very unique. I might even have a new idea for this tail end that's gonna be even cooler than putting the CBR 1000 tail end on this bike. Anyways, guys, don't forget, if you want this bike in your garage, if you wanna be the owner of this machine, one of a kind in the world, don't forget, go over to Patreon, sign up for as little as $1 per new episode. That's all you'll get charged. See you guys in episode 25.